Now we'll go to Dr. Ellis for the next 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair. To you, Dr. Polican, around the transfer of Ebola and Nipah virus, would you say that the national security was lax and that science took precedent over national security?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think at the time there was a longstanding effort, I would say, on the part, as demonstrated in West Africa by China deploying over 100 health personnel as an example to help combat.
Dr. Polican, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't ask for a lecture on Ebola. I've had those before. My question today is national security was lax and science was chosen over national security. Is that not true, sir?
So, Mr. Chair, in this context, the aim of this was to reinforce public health security through the development of medical countermeasures was the stated purpose of the collaboration. And as such, the transfer was authorized.
Thanks very much, Dr. Polican. That being said, we knew that these scientists were under investigation for perhaps 9 months before the transfer occurred. If the transfer did not occur, what would the harm have been?
Well, Mr. Chair, the efforts underway were for the development of medical countermeasures. So should the, several potential candidates for the treatment of Ebola as well as Nipah have been published since then. It is difficult to ascertain what could have happened, but certainly innovations that have been published in the public domain would likely not have occurred.
Thank you very much. Through you, Chair, before Dr. Chu's collaboration with the PRC and the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was the Wuhan Institute of Virology a level 4 lab? Simple yes or no.
I'll turn to Dr. Polican on that.
Are you asking whether the...
Was the Wuhan Institute a level 4 lab before Dr. Chu's collaboration?
As far as I understand, the WIV was developed as a level 4 facility.
That was not my question, sir. Did Dr. Chu's involvement help the lab get developed, which is now a long-standing level 4 lab?
Mr. Chair, I cannot speak to whether Dr. Chu's involvement was essential to that process.
Thank you for that. Through you, Chair, Dr. Polican, do you know, did the Government of Canada have an MOU with the PRC or the WIV, the Wuhan Institute, to help its development into a level 4 lab?
I'm not aware of such a MOU, should it exist.
Through you, Chair, Dr. Lucas, do you know of any MOU that may or may not exist?
Mr. Chair, I'm not aware of any.
And Ms. Jeffrey, through you, Chair, same question.
There was no MOU to establish a level 4 lab. There was in 2007 a science and technical cooperation agreement with China to boost collaborative research and development in the life sciences, including for vaccines. That's the only cooperation agreement of which I'm aware.
Thank you very much. We talked a little bit about the affiliated talent programs and scientists having affiliation with them, Ms. Jeffrey. Would you have Canadians believe that these are the only 2 scientists with undeclared affiliation to talent programs with foreign governments?
I can't comment on what undeclared collaborations would be there. I can say that at the agency we have a policy requiring affiliations and a conflict of interest. No such affiliations have been declared, and if they were declared, they would not be accepted.
Thank you very much. Through you, Chair, to Dr. Polican, we've heard previously, of course, that Ebola and Nipah were shipped on a flight. I believe it was Air Canada. I might have that incorrect, the exact carrier, on a commercial carrier. Is that a normal procedure? Now, unlike our friend from the NDP, of course, it was not carried on board. We realize that. But is that a usual procedure?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the transfer of level 4 pathogens falls under the transport of dangerous goods regulations, which involves the development of an emergency research response action plan, as well as a number of additional checks. But the ultimate carrier for these types of samples is often commercial.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Ellis.